Hi, I'm Don. Today we paint with the blue paints from Cuttlefish Colors. I haven't tried the blue paints yet and we'll try today. Cuttlefish Colors are made in the US. These paints are handcrafted and produced by Cephalopod Studios. Cuttlefish Colors are now available at creaturecaster.com. Other than the beautiful matte finish, I noticed that after a couple of days, the colors stay vibrant, which never happens to me since colors, even oil paints, tend to dull as they cure. Today's extra challenge is to use the glass palette and not use the wet palette. We're using Merlin's Magic Medium, which also acts as a retarder. I pre-selected some colors. I'm keeping it safe, no purples for now. And we're painting the Ultramarine Power Armor with these paints and turn it into this. Hi, I'm Don. Welcome to my studio. Other than my very generous patrons, this channel is supported by all these awesome brands. I also never tried this Cuttlefish Colors for dry brushing until now. And the mountain is very nice for dry brushing. Actually, it's a bit too opaque. Next time, I'll add a bit more Merlin's Medium before using it for dry brushing. Being opaque is not one of the strengths of this Cuttlefish Colors. These paints were formulated to really work nicely with the sketch and glaze painting method. But the mountain is super opaque. The White Knight is also super opaque when it comes to dry brushing. Next time I'll add a bit more Merlin's Medium to give it better flow. But it's super nice for glazing because I tried it in my previous painting. After the value sketching, we now paint the base colors. We are using Bridge Troll, Troll Blue, and this is a bit similar to Model Color Medium Blue. I added a bit more Merlin's Medium than you need for base color just to see if the paints kinda lay down nicely, much like how contrast paints utilize underpainting. So a thinning ratio of around 2 parts Cuttlefish with 1 part Merlin's Medium will kinda produce a contrast paint look-alike. However, in the second coat, I added less Merlin's Medium so that I have better coverage. We are basically just playing around, experimenting with the color so that we know all the nuances. Now here lies one of the strengths of these paints. First off, the Merlin's Magic Medium is magic. I don't want to say this, but it's the best medium that I've used so far. The Merlin's Medium is like the thinner of the paints. It dissolves the paint better and it lays down on the surface really nicely. Also, it acts as a retarder medium. As you can see, I can use just the glass palette to paint my miniature. The Merlin's Medium, if you add it to the paint around 1:1 ratio, also acts as a glaze medium. Also, I was told by Ryan, the chemist of the Cuttlefish Colors from the US, that you could use the Merlin's Medium as the main thinner if you airbrush these colors. So even if you don't want to buy or try the Cuttlefish Colors, I super highly recommend Merlin's Magic Medium. The medium acts as a super all-in-one auxiliary like paint. It's not a paint, but it thins, it glazes, it retards the drying time, and it's also your thinner for airbrushing, but we'll test that very soon. Now we add a bit more shade with some darker blue color, the darkest depths, and also later with a bit of purple, and add this as a shade color for our ultramarine. I'm really excited to paint my next full, like finished miniature with these colors because I feel at this point I know all the nuances, not all, but I'm kinda like used to how these paints work, and honestly, the paints are growing on me. This cerulean violet, or well, blue, this color is working like a charm for me. However, my camera is kinda confused with the violet or purple color. It does not register as well as in person. I mean, in person, this violet shade looks better. Now it's time to push the contrast by painting more highlights. We're using Poor Boy Denim. I love this color. It's a bit opaque, too opaque for my liking, so I added a bit more Merlin's medium, and I have the perfect consistency for highlighting. My $100 highlight sauce also works well with these paints. Similarly, the Merlin's medium dissolves Vallejos really well. Now my highlight color is drying too fast because we're just using the glass palette. So I'm giving up, we're using the wet palette now. The glass palette works really well with metallics, with dry brushing, with glazes, with washes. But unfortunately, if you want to do layering and of course highlighting, it's still the wet palette. My Poor Boy Denim is mixed with a small amount of Merlin's medium, roughly, very roughly around 3 to 4 parts Poor Boy Denim and then 1 part Merlin's medium. Poor Boy Denim is our pre-highlight color, and we're just painting it a bit bigger than you want to because we're going to paint the highest, like a white knight on top of Poor Boy Denim. Now we use white knight. I love this white paint, especially if you add a bit more Merlin's medium because it adds a bit more flow and the consistency and opacity is super nice with the medium. After painting these highlights, if you like the style of Plamion, which creates sparkles with a bit of glow, you just need to add a bit more medium and paint it around the edges of the highlights. Now it's time to thank all my generous patrons, especially my higher tier patrons, my gold level patrons, and my very generous crazy people, my platinum level patrons, and of course, Marco Colucci. Now it's time for the golden lemon reveal. Like I said, these paints are growing on me. I really love the finish. It's super matte and they're a delight to glaze with. Seriously, I'm not paid at all to say this, but the main strengths of the Cuttlefish Colors is glazing, glaze layering, blending, a bit of wet blending, and even highlighting. Although with my observation, it's very important to note that the paints and colors stay vibrant even after a couple of days of curing. Next video is painting fur with Cuttlefish Colors. That's it, Pansit. That's it, we're done. I hope you liked the video. Do like, comment, subscribe, and consider joining the channel so that you'll be part of our Discord community. Saludos!